Hello, everyone. I'm just gonna allow it to. I'm just gonna sit on for a moment and let you guys come in. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on today's message. I'm gonna talk about the prohibition. Apparently, I've been channeling the past for the last week or so. The last week, yeah, last week I started to channel the past. It was the first one was about the Boston Tea Party, and now we're talking about the Prohibition. Okay, this is all about the past, but apparently, what has happened throughout our history is not quite factual. There's a lot of things that transpire behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that has a cause to it on why things happen a certain way. Okay, so me being a seer, I'm able to tap in and I'm able to channel these messages because this was what's hidden. If you are familiar with the psychics and the seers, we see what's hidden. Okay, so that's why I'm able to channel these messages and tap into what this may be. You guys, I'm getting a call, so it may have like disrupted the live. I had watched my last live that I did, and I watched the replay, and the quality sucks. I don't know if it was like that during my live because I didn't sense that. But if you guys are watching the replay of my most recent live, it is a bad quality. It gets better towards the end, but it's a very bad quality. Okay, so let's just get started on today's channel message. Okay, so we're talking about the prohibition. What is the prohibition? Well, the prohibition was a law that was passed during the 1920s. Okay, and it ended in 1933. Okay, what was this law? Apparently back then there was a group of people, group of Americans. It was two groups of people actually, that saw alcohol as something that was destroying Americans, especially Americans' family. It was causing corrupt behavior. So that's what they have said, stated, and they just noticed a lot of things were happening when it came to American families, okay, because of alcohol. So that's why the prohibition was passed according to what is written in history. That's why it was passed. Keep in mind, when this was passed, this happened after the First World War. Okay, the First World War ended in 1918. 1919, they were discussing the Prohibition Act. So pay attention to the timeline here. And in 1920, it was officially passed. Okay, so we had 3 years that is very important and is very highlighted for you guys to remember. Okay, 1918 to 1920. The reason why I highlight that it happened after the First World War, okay, this law that was passed, just pay attention to that, okay, because I'm going to go back to that, okay. However, when this law was passed, many people opposed it, of course. The people that opposed it was some of the church as well, the Catholic Church, because they drink wine, they eat the bread, and that's how it is in the Catholic Church. But they were exempt because of it. The law didn't really affect the Catholic Church apparently, but it affected it affected the American people. But what it helped though, it helped the politicians, it helped the mafia, and it helped doctors and many other people who partake that who profit out of this. Okay, so it helped a lot of people, but the downside is it destroyed the people. The people didn't really sober up Just because this law was passed, it didn't sober them up. It didn't clean society. It didn't fix what was destroying America's families. It didn't do none of those things. It actually did the opposite effect. It increased crime. Okay, it destroyed more families. Okay, so it did the opposite effect. Okay, so going back to the people that it benefited, okay, in which I mentioned was the mafia, the U.S. politician, the doctors, okay. The mafia people, the mafia boss, the organized crime group people, they benefit a lot. They earn a lot of money. They became rich. Okay, the mafia became very rich because what they did was they made a business out of this. So the US passed the Prohibition Act, right? So therefore what the Prohibition Act was, a ban of alcohol. That was the law. You cannot drink alcohol. Okay, alcohol was not meant to be sold or sold. Okay, so that was the law. However, the mafia, being the mafia, they do things behind the scenes. You know, they do corrupt things. They commit crimes, and they earn profits off their crimes. Okay, most of the things that the mafia partake in is trafficking, the prostitution, like prostitution trafficking, and drug trafficking. That's what they were popular and known for. Even weapons as well. So this was back in the 1920s. The mafia. That's how they earn their business. That's how they earn their profits. Is doing committing crimes, but it's very organized though. They were very structured with it. They were very smart on how they moved. So therefore they became rich. So when this happened, when the prohibition passed, they're like, oh, they found a way to earn more money. They saw dollar figures with this. They saw dollar signs, I should say, with this. They're like, okay, okay, we can earn some money with this. So that's what they did. The mafia, what they did was they smuggled alcohol from other countries. They were bootleggers as well, because what they did was they watered down alcohol and then increased the price for it. It was a watered down version of alcohol, but they increased the price for it because of a high demand. People wanted alcohol back then. This is during the 1920s. In 1933, people wanted alcohol, so they knew people was going to buy it regardless. So that's what they did. They watered down the alcohol. They know how to brew their own alcohol. The mafias, not just the mafia, but people in general knew how to brew their own alcohol, like moonshine. That was very popular back then. They also found ways to hide alcohol with the flasks. They had like small flasks, big flasks. They were very creative. Okay, if you guys do your own research on how they did things, is I ain't gonna lie, the way that they moved, the way that they organized this, it was very clever. Okay, but that's probably why they got so rich. But yeah, so they were very clever with their ways, very creative when it came to smuggling alcohol, and and how they did their business. So they created these illegal establishments that was called the speakeasy. These illegal establishment, it was like a bar, right? But it was in secret, but not really. People knew that it exists. Even the politician, even police people, they knew about the speakeasy. There was like a whole bunch of them, but it's like a bar, but it's like in secret. It's hidden. You have to be in the know where it's at. Okay, you have to have some type of connection to be invited to go there and to like pay. Because again, this is how the mafia was earning money, was the speakeasy. Okay, they were also selling alcohol behind the scene as well, because they were smuggling it. So that's how they made their money, okay? So that's one of the group of people that was benefiting from the prohibition. The second group of people was the politician, okay? The politician was the one that created the laws, right? They're the one that passed this law to Congress and all that stuff. So they're the one that did this. So I'm gonna get to the channel message. But the politician they were corrupt, okay, and they were profiting off of this, okay. And how they did that, how they profited, is that they made deals with the mafia, okay. And when they made deals with the mafia, they was like, okay, we're gonna get a percentage of your profit. This was all planned before The mafia got into this business before the prohibition was passed. This is all planned for the politician. I'm going to get to the channel message for you guys to understand. However, so the politicians, what they did is they made deals with the mafia, okay, and any other group of people or any other people that was brewing alcohol and selling it, they made deals with them. What they made, the deal that they made was that, okay, we get a percentage of your profit, and if you get detained, if you get stopped by the prohibition officers or any other officers besides us, or like, just drop our name. So what would happen back then? The mafia bosses that got caught with their illegal establishment of them selling alcohol at their speakeasy spots or just selling it, what they would do is they would tell the police officer or the prohibition officer and say, hey, they would just say the politician's name, and then the police was like, oh, okay, they let them go. That's how it worked back then. And it was very, very known to the people and to the mafia that the politician was very corrupt and they were behind this whole thing. Okay, it's it's a known fact. So that was the second group of people that benefited, was the politicians. The third group of people was the doctors. So the doctors were also exempt from this Prohibition Act for their work. Okay, that's what was written in the history books. But basically, the doctors were allowed to prescribe prescriptions for those that needed alcohol. Yes, you heard right. Doctors prescribe alcohol as like some type of medicine that people needed. Okay, and for those people that were needed, it was obviously people that were probably, I don't even know how this will even work, but I know alcohol does have, you know, benefits when it comes to the medical field. It does. Like that's a very old way of healing yourself, is using alcohol. Like if you have a wound or something, they will use alcohol. It's very, very common. Okay, so that was the last group of people that I saw when it came to who was benefiting. But now let's get to the channel message on why I'm sharing this message with you guys. Apparently, like I mentioned, this happened after World War One. This all played a part. Right after the war ended in 1918, the prohibition was spoke about because they need to gain profit. The American people need to flourish because after war, funds are depleted. They need resources to rise. They need profit, but the way that they do it is it's not legal. They do it illegally. Okay, and they find ways to gain more profit. The way that they do it is illegal. Like I said, they either do drugs, they either partake in trafficking, or they either partake in like things that we're not allowed to do, like the people we're not allowed to do, but the politician, they are doing it behind the scenes to gain money. If you guys did not know, I'm going to tell you more about that. But anyways, this happened after World War One, which ended in 1918. So the Prohibition Act was a guarantee for the politician of that time to gain power and access to the financial system, okay, of the world. They wanted to gain multiple resources during this time. They had to create a reason to pass this law so they can create this plan to gain that power and status. The plan came to effect after one. It was perfect. War left people sad and burdened. It destroyed people. Like it destroyed the American family because they lost people in the war. And then, alcohol was being used a lot. It was an increase of like alcohol intake because of, war is not a good time. If you pay attention throughout history, it's not a good time. It's very depressing, and people just, they glorify war. And in actuality, war is very bad because one, not only are dying, people are dead, and it destroys people's family, but it also depletes people's resources as well. Okay, so they have to gain that money back. They have to gain that resources back somehow, some way. That's how war works. Yes, you have to spend money, but it's all also about profits. It's about the resources. And I'm going to get back to that as well. So the plan came after that, after the war, and it left people very sad and burdened because of what the war did to them. So what the politicians, like, they were blaming like alcohol for being the cause of people being sad and burdened, right? They blamed the alcohol instead of what it was actually, what it really was. Okay. um Okay, so they needed power and status, obviously, to gain what they needed. However, the people opposed this act. When this act was passed, people were upset. The American people were highly upset. They went to, the Congress. They went to their local officials, whatever, to, I guess, rebel, to protest, to say, hey, we don't want this. This is not going to help us. Like, what are you talking about abolishing alcohol? How is this helping us? All these things. So they were very, very upset. Okay, so this is once it was passed. Okay, and it worked for a while. This law being passed, it worked for a while for the people that it was benefiting, but the act came to a close because of the increase of crime. So the law was abolished in 1933 because of the increase of crime. That was what was stated in our history books. Okay, if you do your own research, you're gonna find that out on your own. But that's why it was abolished, because it caused more harm. It did the opposite effect that they claim the reason why they passed it in the first place. Okay, they claim that, oh, we're trying to help society, help the American people by sobering them up, by cleaning society, by getting rid of the alcohol, by getting rid of the problem. That's what they told the American people, right? But it did the opposite effect. It was destroying people even more because the crimes increase. The reason why the crime increase is, again, remember I said the mafia made this a business. So, the mafia, they have their little territorial war going on with other mafia bosses, and it's like a back and forth, killing, shoot. It's like an eye for an eye type of thing. So that increased even more crimes, and especially with the politicians, the corrupt ones that was involved as well. So that increased even more crimes with that. So it was just a lot of crimes happening because of this. Okay. The people believe it was never about the alcohol, so the people knew that when this law was passed, it was never about the alcohol. They knew the people was not idiots. Okay, it was about greed. It was about power. It was about corruption. It was about profit, money, resources. Okay, it was about controlling the resources of the world. Okay, and it wasn't just America that partook in this. Like, America that was benefiting from this as well. Keep in mind, just because America passed it, they wasn't the only one that was benefiting. Remember I told you the mafia, they were smuggling alcohol. So where were they smuggling the alcohol from? So whatever these countries were that they were buying from, profited as well. So it wasn't just America that was benefiting. Again, this is all about these war leaders, these war officials, politicians, these leaders that's supposed to represent the people, that's supposed to be for the people. They do corrupt things behind the scenes to gain some type of status, or to gain profit, to gain some type of control. And especially those world leaders that's involved in war, they tell the public one thing, but in actuality, the truth of it behind the scene, it's another thing. It's a personal gain for them. And the gain for them is to have the control of the resources of the world. Okay, and some of these people create alliances, and some of them like attack other countries that may be like a powerhouse that they feel like they can control, that they feel like they can get their resources. So that's what war is about. Okay, if you guys do not know, it's not about, oh, this is what they feed the public, the people of these countries, especially in America. We're protecting our land, we're protecting our liberty, we're fighting for what's right. They glorify war. They say it's a great honor Okay, it's a benefit for you to fight for us, but at the end, but behind the scenes, it's not like that. That's not the truth. They are actually gaining resources and money from this. This is what they're doing. They are actually gaining resources, money. Okay, and meanwhile they're benefiting off of war, they're benefiting off of passing these laws, they're benefiting off of all these things, the suffering off of people that has died, the suffering off of people that has been destroyed, the suffering of the people that's ignorant to what's really going on. They're benefiting at this. The people are the one that suffers. The people are the one that are lost. The people are don't benefit at all. They're just being used and manipulated. That's what's really happening. Okay, so that's what's going on with that. They are trying to control the resources of the world. That's how it always been throughout our history, and that's how it was back then during the 1920s to 1933. So the people knew what was going on, especially during that time, because again, remember I said the mafia was working with the corrupt politician, but the mafia wasn't stupid. They knew that the politician held the power. They had the power. They could do anything. They knew that, and so they were making deals with the politician, but they didn't trust him. They already knew what it was. They knew that they started this whole thing to gain profit. They knew this is their intention the whole time. So the mafia, they had something up their sleeve as well, but at the same time they both were corrupt, the mafia and the politician. Okay, but I feel like the mafia was also talking to people, the people that were buying from them, like, hey, like they were basically exposing what was going on, their dealings. There were gossip, there was rumors about certain corrupt politician that people knew that were doing business with the mafia, but no one said anything. They were afraid, they were scared. Okay, because they're like, okay, they knew the truth, but they were too scared to stand up for what's right. And I'm talking about the people. They knew the truth, but they were too scared to stand up for what's right. That their world leaders, the leaders of America, was partaking in illegal schemes, working with the mafia. They knew. People knew about this. The evidence is it was shown right in front of their faces. It was a lot of hush money being passed around. A lot of people died from this. Trying to expose it, though, there were people that was trying to expose this, but they end up dying. Okay, the people knew what was going on. The mobsters, the mafia, told people what was going on behind the scenes. The politician is the one who created this to pass so they can get money, profit, so they can control the resources. Okay. However, why did I channel this message? Why am I sharing this with you guys? Because again, history is going to repeat itself. Okay, pay attention to what's happening now. What's happening with Gaza and Israel? What's happening like around the world? What's happening with America? Like, come on. Everything is leading up to some type of war, like a big war. Okay, not just with Israel and Gaza and the other countries that's in war. This is all trying to lead up to, I guess they're trying to plan war. I talk about. They're trying to plan that. Again, that's talks, and I had visions about here and there about that. But however, why I'm sharing this with you guys is you need to be aware of the patterns of this. I said when we have war, when you see war being spoke about, when you see it happen in other countries, just know that this is all a ploy. This is all propaganda. They may tell you one thing on why it is happening, but behind the scene, there is a reason. They orchestrate the whole thing to gain what? What did I say? They gain control of the resources of the world. This is the whole plan of it. They do it time after time after time after time. This is what they do. Okay, it's nothing new. So what you guys need to be aware of is, one, be aware of this tactic. The world needs to recognize the schemes of the corrupt, the signs of the corrupt, see what's going on. The world needs to be aware of the way of the corrupt. They are the ones that are used the most, which is you, the people. We are used the most. We are spit out. We are the one that's They feel like they can control and manipulate. But if we all stand together and finally stand together, united as a united front, and see the corrupt for what it really is, then we can change things for the better. Not just protesting, like really changing things and causing a movement when this happens again, because it will happen again. The reason why history repeats itself, people, is because we haven't learned our lessons. That's the only reason why it repeats. We haven't learned. Okay? The people knew about this back then, but they did nothing. And those that did, they died. It wasn't enough of them standing together. We need to stop history from repeating itself. That's the main message of this channel message. Like, yeah, this is what happened in the past. This is not the only time this happened. It's been repeating throughout our history. But you need to be aware moving forward when this happens again. And if it does happen again, what will you do about it? Exactly. War has no benefit. It only has benefit for the corrupt. People always die in both sides. It doesn't matter what side you stand on. People die. There's families that's destroyed. It's just a lot that goes with war. War is not the answer, okay? Especially how long it lasts. It just doesn't. It's not an answer. It's not a solution. It causes more problems. And war is not natural. Not like how it's been done. Like, I understand if there's like an enemy force that's trying to kill people in someone's country, but if it's none of that, then you guys can like sit down and speak and talk to each other and handle business. I'm just That's just my opinion. Like, war should never be a thing. So that was the message, you guys. This is what I channeled of what really occurred in the past and what's going to continue to happen throughout our history. But again, something's going to unfold during this time where we need to pay attention because they're going to use the same tactic. Okay? And when it happens, we all need to stand together. It's like, hey, we're not standing for this again. We don't need to go war. Like, no. We don't need to go to war for nothing. Not really. And yes, there's different reasons on why people go to war. But at the same time, it depends on that reason. Okay? Nothing's too serious for you not to like sit down and speak and talk. Why do we have a United Nation? I don't understand. I really don't feel like they do anything. It's just a personal opinion. I really don't feel like they do absolutely nothing. I feel like they cause more problems. And I feel like we could have been a better yes, true public should take a stand. And I feel like when we take a stand, we got to be smart, because remember I said that they use propaganda and stuff like that. When people protest, they make excuses on why they use force, like they beat people and stuff like that, the police officers. I'm like, okay, if we're going to protest, let's be organized with that, because they're going to try to use that against us, make it seem that we're like don't know how to be together. Or if not only that, they manipulate it. They create groups to like infiltrate it and say, oh, look at them, you see, this is not a peaceful protest, look what they're doing, this is what they do all the time. And they use excuses on why they are enforcing why they are being brutal towards the protesters. They use excuses. They do this all the time throughout the whole world, and people fall for it. And people like get mad at each other, like, you see, this is what you guys are doing, this is what you guys are doing to our police. Like, you guys are not paying attention. They are manipulating you. In my opinion, government has different levels and unless all the levels are honest and working, then only a nation can grow and be happy. The truth needs to be revealed. Yes, I agree. The truth. That's the only way for people to like really stand up and rise, and for us to come together. Is like, we keep being fed lies and illusions. The truth needs to be revealed of what's really going on and why. Once we get the truth, Earth this side. Do you remember me? Earth this side. I do not. I'm sorry. I don't remember the name. Did you have a different username? Or was you there when I did my lives? My Ask Me Anything lives? Let me see if I can pronounce your name. Rishta, Rishta. I did not pronounce that right. Shrishta. India. Oh yes. Was you the? I don't think it was. Oh, okay. Was it you that asked me about Krishna? Oh no, I think it was probably somebody else. Yeah, I think it was Manav that asked me that. I don't think it was you. But yes, I think I do remember you when I used to do my lives. Oh yes, I do remember you. Did you move? Did you end up moving? Because I think I remember I told you that. No, not yet. You didn't move yet. I used to do a lot of readings for people. Like the people that I did readings before, the people that I read before, they are DMing me and saying that, oh, everything that I told them came to pass. And I'm like, yeah. And they want me to go. They want me back. They want me back in tarot. I'm like, no, I don't choose tarot. I don't really. I don't choose. I don't know what I want yet. In 3 months. Okay. Well, I'm happy for you. That's amazing. That is really amazing. Like to travel to a different country. That's amazing. I want to travel. That's one of my life I won't say bucket list, but that's one of my dreams is to travel around the world. Why did I left tarot? I had an experience really. The reason why I left tarot is because something was shown to me during a vision of if I were to go down that path, continue down that path, yes, I'm going to be successful. Yes, I'm going to gain fame and popularity, and people is going to like come to my channel. My channel is going to grow, but I was going to go through, I guess, trials and tribulation where it's going to be very worse for me because of that path. There is I'm very tapped in, you guys. I am very gifted. I have been spiritually attacked since I was a baby because of my gift and because of who I am. And there are those that knows about me. And that path of tarot isn't of God. Me, when I started tarot, I didn't feed into that. I didn't feed into like, oh, tarot's bad. I never did. I'm a very open-minded person. However, I had visions that, oh, tarot craft isn't really of God. It's Lucifer's. He created it. That's his craft. So if I follow that path, yes, I'm gonna get all the things. Even though I was being good, like I was using my gift for good, it did not matter. It's something about me. If I follow that path, it's like I'm following him because of the person I am. So that's why I left because of the vision I saw. I saw some of the trials and tribulations, I should say, that I was gonna go through if I went that way. I was still gonna get everything that I wanted, but I was going to be abused. It was going to be a worse outcome or worse experience, I should say, not the worst outcome, the worst experience. But then I saw something else last night of a different path. If I choose this path, it was going to be worse than that. So I'm like, what the heck? So my gift is interesting. It's very interesting. So right now, God keeps telling me follow the road less traveled. That's what he keeps saying to me. Follow the road less traveled. So I meant to use my gift in a different way where it's not of tarot and it's not of like religion. Like, you know how people are super religious? Not like that. I am someone that goes to church, but I don't consider myself religious. I have a very strong faith. I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in all that. However, I'm not a religious person. I just have a very strong faith. I'm very connected to God. And I love what I do. I love helping people. And I have a gift. However, there are those who wish me harm because of my gift. Just do what you like. Listen to your gut. That's best. Yes. I did love tarot. I did. However, like, this is very interesting that you brought this up, because yesterday I was like, there was a thought that came up to my head. I'm like, should I go back? But then again, I'm like, no, I made my decision, because again, I did love what I did. I did love what I do, but at the same time, I know what that path is. And then something was shown to me about a path that I never chose, but it was shown to me in the vision. I'm like, Catholic. So with the Catholic church, I'm like, I'm not Catholic, I'm Christian. And that path is a bad path, apparently. No offense to those who's Catholic. But I saw a vision with that. So I can't choose that path either, which I never was, because I'm not Catholic, I'm Christian. But again, it's something about me. I have to choose. Like, I keep being shown like you have to choose a path. I'm like, I'm just choosing me and my gift and God. That's it. That's all I want. Oh, these are not just regular people. These are demonic. Some of them are demonic. Some of them are like what they call them, monitoring spirits. Like, I can actually see them in my vision that I have. Like, I can see these people watching me. They know about me. They know who I am. They know about my gift, and it's annoying. Um. Oh, curly girl, hey. So that's why I don't do tarot anymore, and that's why I'm not a religious person either, because I don't know, you guys, I'm gonna find a way to use my gift how I used to and help you guys, but I haven't figured that out yet. But I am being spiritually attacked as well, so that's why I kind of stopped with that. And I have visions that I was spiritually attacked since I was a baby, and I didn't know. I wasn't aware. Yes, baby 5 5. I left tarot. Where have you been, curly girl? Oh, do you like the numerology videos? Yeah, I love numerology. I love astrology. That's gonna be more on my channel. I was going to bring numerology charts for you guys, where I can create your own chart so you guys can understand like your destiny, your relationship, all that. Yeah, I am taking my time. I'm not rushing. I'm just figuring things out as I go. As I continue to grow, I'm figuring things out. What about me now? Oh, baby 5 5. There's a whole bunch of tarot readers on YouTube. I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Um, like, if you want to do open questions again, don't do tarot, but something to incorporate numerology. Right. I was also brainstorming ideas as well, curly girl, on what I can do with that numerology, like what a number day would mean for someone or something. I'm actually I do that for myself. For the last 3 days, that's what I've been doing. My personal day number and what it would be. I could definitely do that for you guys. Oh, your birthday? Do you want to know your life path number? Let me do your calculation. So your birthday is July 7th. July 4th, 2005. So let's calculate your birth. What's your life path? 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, plus 7. Okay, your life path number is 9. Wow. Very spiritual number. Number 9 talks about spirituality. It talks about you're very intellectual. Like you can be very, very smart as well if you haven't realized that already. I'm still learning about the nines, but that's actually my personal number today, the number 9. But it talks about spirituality. You may be someone who likes to research as well. Yes, I believe in God. I do too, baby 55. I think most people do. Yeah, numerology is basically a way of learning about yourself in this reality. Yeah, I could definitely do that, curly girl. I'm gonna make a post on when I'm gonna start to do that. So, like a weekly and a daily, like what your week will be like, because for everybody it's gonna be different. So, what about career? Yeah, numerology can also teach you about that as well. It can show you your career path, what's the best career path for you, or what is your career path. It's like numerology charts tells you everything about you. It's like astrology, but in a higher vibration, from in my opinion. When it comes to numbers, it's more deeper than astrology. Have you ever watched what was it called? Was it called Hidden Figures? No. What's that movie called where we it was set in the like back in the day, the 1950s I think, where the 4 black women, they were like working for NASA, and they were creating like mathematical problems, like they were the only one that could figure it out. Math plays a huge part on understanding our reality, the world, the universe, everything, and ourselves. Why did I bring that up? There's a reason. I just don't remember. Bachelor in Business Administration. Wow. And your life path number is a 9. That would be good for you. I would definitely look into it because you guys, I'm still learning about numerology. I'm a beginner. So behind the scenes, I've been studying. Okay. So once I get like, I feel like, okay, I got it. I'm gonna master it. I'm gonna bring it to you guys where we can do lives, and I can create your own chart. Marriage. Oh, I didn't get that far and that deep, baby 55. Again, I'm a beginner, but I just know that your life path number is a number 9. You can look that up on what that means, baby 55. I'm trying to see what they're talking about. Even hold on. What's your birthday? Mine is 5 life plans. So tell me something about me. 5 talks about changes. It talks about shift. It talks about travel. You may be someone who likes to. Oh my gosh! I just realized something. You're the one that's trying to leave the country. That's actually your life path number. The number 5 talk about someone who's very adventurous, that likes to try new things. You're not afraid to try new things. You're not you're not someone that's meant to be in a box or be comfortable. You're meant to try new things. You're meant to. It's like a Sagittarius. The number 5 is like a Sagittarius. You have to travel to learn, to grow, to experience new things. Oh my god! Congratulations, curly girl. I love that. Is it not? It's not with your ex, right? Oh my God! Congratulations, curly girl. I'm so happy for you, Shrishta. Go look up your life path number 5. It's going to tell you something much deeper than what I can tell you right now. But I know for a fact that number 5 talks about travel, adventure. You're not meant to be in the box. So I'm gonna wish you luck, girl. I'm gonna pray for you that it goes well. Is he cute? I'm so happy for you. Yes. Thank God it's not him. I'm so happy for you. Thank God it's not him. Because you deserve so much better. Because that dude was like on and off. He didn't know what. It's like he was playing mind games. Not only to do. But you guys, thank you so much for your comment. And Curly Girl, thank you for your idea. I was actually thinking about doing something with numerology. So I'm definitely going to brainstorm. And I will give you guys updates on that. Because I want to do natal charts for you guys using numerology. Not just for astrology, but also but numbers. I'm going to make sure you guys understand it, though. Like, I'm going to break it down for you. So I'm going to leave it there, you guys. This was the message. This was a long live. And congratulations, Curly Girl. I hope you have fun on your date. This person better treat you right. I know that. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I kind of missed my old game.